Hey everyone, this is Carly coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida. And here in Orlando we have a lot more to celebrate besides the great weather. I say that because I just got engaged, check out the bling, and my fiance and I just moved into this brand new apartment, our first place together. So tonight I wanted to celebrate, and in order to do that I'm going to make my 5-star stuffed chicken using Philadelphia cream cheese, and it is topped off with a delicious mushroom sherry cream sauce. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start making some of the ingredients for our stuffing for our chicken. So our first ingredient is going to be, I have 4 slices of prosciutto. Now if you've never used prosciutto, I know it sounds kind of fancy and a little bit scary, but don't be scared, it's just an Italian cured ham. And what we're going to do, this is what it looks like if you've never seen it before. But I have 4 slices that I've already chopped up into little pieces, and what we're going to do is just throw it in a pan and brown it. Just, it kind of brings out the flavor and it almost starts to look like bacon, so we're just going to do that really quickly. Okay, so now that our prosciutto has all browned up and it looks fabulous, we're going to start talking about our chicken. So right here, I just want you to see this setup I have. I have 2 chicken cutlets. I'm going to make 4 total, but right now I have 2 right here. And I bought cutlets because they're already very thin, but we're going to pound them even thinner because when we're finished with this, we're going to actually roll them into a little, a little roll, a little chicken roll with the stuffing inside. So if you can just get a close-up of that so you can see I have my cutting board, I have a layer of plastic wrap, and then I placed the chickens on top of that and then covered it with another layer of plastic wrap. And I'm just going to use the bottom of a heavy glass, and we're just going to pound the chicken. Just like that, and I've already done these 2, so they're looking good. They're very thin, I would say less than 1/4 of an inch thick. So now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and season it. So I'm just going to remove this layer of wrap, and the first seasoning we're just going to do a little salt and pepper. Salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. Sprinkle that on there. And then we're also going to just kind of dust the chicken with a little bit of flour. So I'm just going to take it with my fingers and just kind of massage it into the chicken, if you will. So that side looks good, and you're going to do this to both sides. Okay, so now it's time to make our filling for our chicken. So I already have the prosciutto that I browned up in this bowl here. And right here I have about 10 to 12 sun-dried tomatoes packed in oil. I drain the oil from them and then I just chop them up. So those are going to go right in with our prosciutto. And we're also going to add, right here I have 8 ounces of Philadelphia chive and onion cream cheese. And I like to use the chive and onion for this recipe because obviously it has a lot more of that good oniony flavor and it's going to taste really good with our chicken. So I'm just going to put that right in. And I've let this sit out and it's been softening, so it'll be a little easier to mix. There we go. And I'm just going to mix this together. Alright, so that looks about good. And I'm not going to add any other seasonings because we already have, the chives and there's garlic in there and things like that, so we don't need to add any salt or pepper or anything like that. Alright, so now we're going to start stuffing our chicken. Just going to move this out of the way. And I have our chicken that we've already pounded thin and seasoned. So I'm just going to show you how to do 2 really quick here. So you're going to take your spoon and just get a nice good sized spoonful of this stuffing and place it in the center of the chicken. And I'm going to kind of spread it out even a little bit down the center. Now you don't want to overstuff it because then you're going to have a problem rolling it up. So there we go, that looks about right. And we're just going to roll it like this. And then wherever the end ends up, I had toothpicks. Here's one. I have a toothpick this size, and I'm just going to kind of sew the chicken together so that it doesn't come apart when we're cooking it. And that means our oven's ready. By the way, our oven's been preheating to 350 degrees. So this is what it's going to look like when you're finished. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of our chicken. Okay, so the next step, we're just going to take our little chicken roll-ups that we have here, and we're just going to put them in a a skillet that I have some extra virgin olive oil heating up. And the reason for this is we're not going to cook it all the way through because we're also going to put it in the oven. We're just going to really quickly brown it on both sides. That's why we added the flour, so it'll create like a nice brown crust. So I'm just going to put these in here. And as soon as they're brown on both sides, I'm going to transfer it to a baking dish and put it in our 350-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so our chicken just went into the oven, and I just wanted to mention one thing. While the chicken was cooking, I went ahead and squeezed half of a lemon on top of the chicken right before I put it in the oven. That just adds a really nice flavor, and I don't know, I just like it. So now what we're going to do is start on our sauce. So I have the same pan. This is very important. I'm using the same pan that I cooked the prosciutto in and the chicken. So now I'm going to go ahead and add half of an onion that I've chopped up to our pan here. And these are going to go ahead and soften for about 2 to 3 minutes. And as soon as that happens, I'm going to go ahead and add 12 ounces of already sliced white mushrooms to the pan and let those cook down. Okay, so our mushrooms and onions have been cooking for about 6 minutes, and they're looking nice and brown. And so now it's time to season them up. I'm just going to take some garlic powder, about half a teaspoon, get that down in there, some pepper, and a little bit of salt. Just eyeball, it doesn't have to be exact. And we're going to mix that together. And then this is the fun part. This sauce is obviously a mushroom sherry cream sauce. So what I have here is some sherry cooking wine, and I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup to the pan. There we go. Again, you don't have to be exact. And what this is going to do is it's going to deglaze the pan, and all of that brown stuff on the bottom of the pan that we cooked the prosciutto and the chicken in, all of that flavor is going to be incorporated to our sauce. So you want to take your spatula and just kind of scrape the brown parts up into the sauce, and it's going to be delicious. So now that that's working, I'm going to let that reduce for about 5 more minutes. And over here, our chicken just came out of the oven. And so what I've done is I'm preheating my broiler. And right here, I have 4 slices of fresh mozzarella cheese. And I'm just going to top each chicken with 1 slice of the cheese. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this back into the oven under the broiler, and what you want to do is just keep an eye on it, because all you really want is for the chicken to, for the cheese to melt and get a little bit bubbly. So make sure you keep an eye on that. It'll probably take about 2 or 3 minutes. And this is going to reduce, and then we'll come back in a second to finish it up. Okay, so our sherry has reduced, and as you can see, this is what it's going to look like. And this is the last step for our cream sauce. We're just going to add a little bit of regular whipping cream, just right over the top. I would say it's going to be about 1/4 of a cup. And you just want to mix that together. Like that, and your sauce is done. Alright, so our chicken's out of the oven, the cheese is nice and melted, and it's time to finish it up with our mushroom sherry cream sauce. So you just want to take a nice spoonful and spoon it right over the top, just like that. I mean, come on, how beautiful is that? I really want you guys to try this recipe. I'm really proud of it, and I just think it's the perfect way to show someone you love how much you really care about them. So I really hope you enjoy.